What's up, y'all? Shout out to everybody. January, June 14th, 2025. It's a Saturday. It's 10:51 in the morning. I want to welcome all of my new subscribers to my page. Thank you. Please make sure you go follow me on my Instagram page at the Podcast with Soul, and also follow me on Spotify at the Podcast with Soul. You can watch these videos and a bunch of other videos on my Spotify. Shout out to everybody that sent Cash App. I gotta shout them out. Appreciate all of y'all. Kanisha, what's up, Kanisha? Thank you, Kanisha. Kenyatta, Euless, Mason, Lawrence Armstrong, Yolandra, thank you, Yolandra, Stacy, Monique, Jay, Rhode Island, Sonia, thank you, Sonia. Another Sonia. Appreciate all of y'all. My Cash App is underneath this video, $ astigmatism in my soul. I have been going down to the federal court building every day. I've missed 3 days since the trial started to go to do a podcast show down in Tampa, Florida. With Matt Cox, Inside True Crime with Matt Cox. Make sure you go check out that video. We talk about the whole Puffy case. But other than that, I've been in the courtroom every single day. I'm in the overflow, which is the 24th floor, and we get to watch the court proceedings on a big screen television, and we get to hear it and watch it in real time. I want to talk about Judge Subramanian, who yesterday, Friday, June the 13th, 2025, before the proceeding even started, yesterday they brought on a dude from Homeland Security, Andre Lemon, who led the search of Puffy's Los Angeles house, and then they brought on Jonathan Perez, who was one of Puffy's assistants, to testify. But before they got into that, there was a major discussion about juror number 6. Juror number 6 is a foundational Black American man, 41 years old, and the prosecution has been attempting to have him removed from the jury, and I don't know what the reason was. Something about his residence. He had been showing up late, I guess, to jury duty, and they met with him twice. And at the beginning of court yesterday, Judge Subramanian, here's my notes. These were the words out of his mouth. Juror number 6 is not going to be removed. The inconsistencies in juror number 6's statements is about his residence. Judge Subramanian, these are perfectly innocent statements. Assistant U.S. Attorney Steiner from the Southern District of New York is arguing that it's a significant issue, wants the judge to speak to juror number 6 again, and going on and on about why juror number 6 needs to be removed. The judge comes back and states on the bench, there's no evidence of biased conduct by juror number 6. Juror number 6 made an innocent statement to jury staff in the roving room, and there's no evidence of biased conduct. And the jury that we have put together is an unusually diverse group of jurors. Alexandra Shapiro, one of Puffy's attorneys, stands up, and she is going at it with Assistant U.S. Attorney Steiner. And Ms. Shapiro states that, listen, calling juror number 6 back again for a third time, She's concerned about harassing juror number 6 and the impact not only on juror number 6, but on the jury, and that the record is sufficient and there is no bias. Alexandra Shapiro cites Supreme Court and district court cases that have ruled that this is no big deal, and there have been cases of juror misconduct far more serious than juror number 6, and those jurors were not removed. Alexander Shapiro went as far as to say that Puffy would waive his rights to an appeal on this particular issue if it were to come up. And the judge asked Puffy in open court, Mr. Combs, do you agree to waive your right to appeal on this issue? Puffy put his hands up, says, I waive my right. The juror lives in the Bronx and may have moved out of the Bronx in the last 2 weeks. Judge Alexander Shapiro, this doesn't rise to the level of removal of juror number 6. Assistant U.S. Attorney says we need to contact his employer. It's a significant issue to find out if he lives in New York. And Shapiro comes back, Your Honor, really, we're going to start harassing not only juror number 6, but we're going to start harassing his employer. And the judge, this is in the morning, this is before court opens up, this is about 9:30 in the morning. The judge says, I will speak to juror number 6 later. Maybe I may speak to him, and I'm going to think about it. But I'm inclined not to have juror number 6 removed. And out of the judge's mouth, juror number 6 is not going to be removed. So at the end of court yesterday, I was in court all day yesterday. After Jonathan Perez testified, I guess they had some more discussions on this. And from what I was told by some other people that are in the courtroom with me, a sidebar was called, and the judge changed his mind, and juror number 6 has been removed. But the judge did say he was gonna think about it over the weekend and come back on Monday with his final ruling as far as juror number 6 is gonna be removed. Now, there's a juror number 6 is a foundational Black American man, right? Which is what I am, right? Now, if there are inconsistencies in his residency, right, and both the prosecution and the defense during the voir dire had an opportunity to question juror number 6, and they both agreed on juror number 6. Juror number 6 just didn't show up and knock on the door, yo, I'm on the jury. No. During the voir dire process, during the jury selection process, 200 or 300 jurors come down and they narrow it down to 18. 12 jurors, 6 alternates. But in that process, you have to be vetted. You screened, you asked questions. Are you jaded against the government? Are you jaded against Puff? Do you ask the series of questions to determine whether you can be objective and unbiased in this case. And the defense gets to ask you questions as well as the prosecution. And they both get to decide yay or nay. And they both, the defense and prosecution, agreed on juror number 6 to put him on there. The judge says these are innocent statements. I don't know what happened with Judge Subramanian from the morning to the afternoon. But let me say this. And from what I heard, juror number 6 is going to be replaced by a white male. Last week, Judge Subramanian, you was there. The whole Southern District of New York prosecution team was there. Puffy's defense team was there. Every media outlet damn near in the world was there. Judge Subramanian, you heard it. I know you heard it because you was there, and so was I. A white girl from California by the name of Brianna Bongelin got on the stand and committed perjury in court. Judge Subramanian, right in front of your face, disrespected you and disrespected your courtroom. Alexandra Shapiro requested a mistrial based on this perjury, saying that the Southern District of New York prosecution team knew or should have known, and that they're held to a higher standard, that this particular government witness, they called her to the stand, that they should have known that her testimony was perjury, and that they had all of the information as to Puffy's whereabouts and his travel schedule on the date in question, which was September the 26th, 2016, when that white girl, Brianna Bongelin, said that Puffy hung her over a balcony at Cassie's apartment. They showed the balcony in pictures of Cassie's apartment. She said that Puffy hung her over the balcony from the 17th floor. She gave 3 different accounts of what happened on this balcony. She lied. She cold-blooded told a lie. This is Cassie's lawsuit. This is her civil suit. This is Cassie's civil suit, to where Puffy settled with her for $20 million. Civil case number 23-CV-10098. United States District Court, Southern District of New York. Cassandra Ventura versus Sean Combs. On page 19, paragraph 102. Check me out. This is Cassie's civil suit. After this freak-off, Puffy and Cassie went back to the hotel room that Miss Ventura was staying in, where some of Cassie's friends were already hanging out. Puffy was severely intoxicated, and at one point during the night, picked up one of Cassie's friends like a child and dangled the friend over the balcony of the 17th floor hotel suite. Hotel suite. Hotel suite, Judge Subramanian. Hotel suite, Judge Subramanian. Under Brianna's cross-examination by Nicole Westmoreland, Breonna Bogelin, the white girl who told a lie in court. Cassandra Ventura, Cassie, told a lie in her civil suit. These are the drugs that Breonna Bogelin was on. This is what she used to take, her and Cassie. Weed, edibles, cocaine, ketamine, ecstasy, Molly, GHB, acid, Percocet, Vicodin, and Cocoa Puff. And that's putting cocaine on a blunt. Before Cassie, Judge Subramanian, you heard it, filed her civil suit, she called Breonna and asked Breonna if she could put Breonna's name in her civil suit. Breonna declined. She said no. And Breonna and Cassie discussed the balcony incident when they were concocting this story, when they were creating this imaginary Bugs Bunny, Woody Woodpecker, Great Space Coaster story. You guys talked about locations, who was going to be there. You were discussing dates. Cassie and Breonna were discussing dates. Was it going to be this girl named Tiffany Red there, or Breonna's girlfriend? Would it be at a hotel? Would it be at an apartment? Cassie chose a hotel in her civil suit. Breonna got on the stand and said it was an apartment. Cassie and Breonna gave two different locations for the same event. This harrowing event where somebody almost lost their life. They both give two different locations as to where this took place. When Breonna first met with federal prosecutors, and I think she met with them like 8 times, she didn't tell them about the balcony incident. You told the federal prosecutors Cassie did not see Puffy and the balcony. Cassie told you, I didn't see you get hung over a balcony. You told Cassie she was there. When Breonna first met with federal prosecutors on January 18, 2024, this is the first time, she didn't tell the federal prosecutors the first time she met with them that Puffy hung her over a balcony. But 13 days later, her attorney, Tyrone Blackburn, wrote a demand letter to Puffy demanding $10 million. In that demand letter, it mentions that Puffy said to Breonna, I could kill you while hanging you over the balcony. Nicole Westmoreland asked Breonna, that wasn't true, was it? Breonna said, no, that wasn't true. Prosecution called a sidebar. Nicole Westmoreland, you've told several different stories about the balcony. One story, you said you were smoking weed on the balcony. The next story, you were smoking a cigarette on the balcony. Then you said you were pretending to smoke weed. Today you said your back was toward the patio door. When you met with federal prosecutors, you said you were looking inward and Puffy was charging at you. She said, I don't remember. Nicole Westmoreland said, let me refresh your memory. She told federal prosecutors that Puffy was looking right at him. She's made several claims about this balcony incident, none of it which was true. Because Cassie's apartment is in California, which is where Breonna Boglin said the event took place on September 26, 2016. Nicole Westmoreland, Puffy's attorney, put up a receipt of Trump International Hotel that Puffy was checked into the Trump International on September 24th, and he didn't check out until the 29th. And that on September 26th, he was doing a signing at Macy's on 34th Street, and he was at a benefit at the Boys and Girls Harbor up in Harlem. And he was ordering room service in the Trump International, and Cassie was with him here. So Breonna's whole story was a lie. So, in Judge Subramanian, you know that. U.S. Attorney Smizer, you know that. You was the one that put her on the stand. So I guess it's okay for a white female to come into the court and commit perjury on the stand in the process of having immunity from prosecution unless she tells the truth. In a case where a man is facing 30 years or life in prison, it's okay for a white female to come in and lie. And Judge Subramanian, that following day after that testimony, Alexandra Shapiro filed for a mistrial. I got it right here. Maybe it's in this one. Hold on a second. I got it. Alexandra Shapiro filed for a mistrial Hold on, I got it. I got it. Alexandra Shapiro files for a mistrial. And Judge Subramanian, you made excuses saying that she may have forgot. It was a long time ago. It was over 9 years ago. I want to find it, man. I know I got it. Judge Subramanian, you made excuses for the girl. You said that it was 9 years ago. She was on drugs, and you just brushed it off. So Puffy's not getting prosecuted for something that happened 9 years ago. Puffy is on trial for things that happened going back 17 years ago from 2008. That's what's in his indictment. So you're going to make excuses for the white girl to come in and perjure herself on the stand, but you're going to hold Puff and this juror number 6 to the letter of the law. Don't look good. Don't look good. Peace.